स्टार्ट। मैं 1 मिनट स्टार्ट रिकॉर्डिंग स्टार्ट करूं पहले।
नहीं आप बोलो अलग।
प्लीज सर स्टार्ट।
Good afternoon, friends, all the company secretaries, students, and other viewers. We heartily welcome all of you at the webinar conducted by the ICSI. At the outset, we must note the bravery shown by our soldiers on the border yesterday. So, being a nation, being a citizen of India, we are all together and we show our solidarity for them. We pray God Almighty for their soul. We pray God to give enough strength to their families to bear these irreparable losses to their families. So, friends, with this note, I once again welcome to the webinars organized by the ICSI. Friends, ICSI has conducted more than 25 to 30 webinars during last 2 to 3 months on various topics. Head Office has organized webinars on fitnesses, on spiritualities, chapters, and region has conducted webinars on the technical subjects. So we have tried to cater needs of the members on various other relevant topics. Friends, during the lockdown, I have in communication with a lot of members. During that conversation, I came to note that the members are not able to work from home for many reasons because of some technological constraints. So we, being IT committee, thought we should also empower our members also in aspect of technologies. So that thought process brings us to these sessions, and the IT committee of ICSI has initiated one event, IT empowerment of the corporate leaders under the guidance of our President Ashish Gargji, Nagendra Rawji, and whole councils. We are able to in front of you. So as an initiative, today is the first sessions. We have planned 2 sessions during this webinar. The first sessions will be on the how to effectively conduct business meeting, board meeting, and general meetings. And the second sessions would be on the how to work from home, remote working. So that will be on practical aspect, how we can set up the required infrastructures for our efficient work from home culture. So for first sessions, we have faculty Mr. Rushabh Shah. He is a Vice President, Swarnim Touch Technology Private Limited. He is a Vice President Marketing and Sales. He is a guy who is working on the ground. He has conducted a lot of board meetings, webinars, general meetings of the corporates. So I am very much sure that his hands-on experience of working on the ground will help our company secretaries to enhance the skill of using various platforms and conducting board meeting and general meetings efficiently. So Rushabh ji, I welcome on to you behalf of the ICSI.
Thank you so much, Chetan bhai. And first of all, I am really very much honored. I especially thank ICSI India, as well as special thanks to Chetan bhai for inviting me for this wonderful session today. And it was really nice of you to show the solidarity and gratitude towards the Indian soldiers, which are working day and night for us to protect our borders. That was really a very nice moment for the ICSI India. Now, very importantly, first of all, my name is Rushabh Shah and I represent Swarnim Touch Solutions Private Limited. We are basically expertise in video communication and video streaming technology, and that is where we have our session here, where we can tell you how company secretaries can very effectively give out or conduct board meetings, annual general meetings, or regular meetings for their clients or for their internal purposes. So this is where we will be giving you very basic ground level training about the solution. So I will just start my screen share and I will give you the idea about it. Please just give me a minute. Okay, so I hope my screen is visible to you all. Chetan bhai, it is visible, right?
Yes.
Okay. So basically, as I previously mentioned that the agenda and the topic of our today's conference is, today's webinar is about board meeting, business meetings and journal meetings through video conferencing, and specifically what kind of tools or platforms you can use for the video communication, data storage, how it can be done more effectively and more securely, and how ease of use can be attained by using certain technologies. We will be going on to that particular area. So as already Chetan B has given my introduction, I would just directly start the session in that particular area. So, how video communication makes it easy in our business terms. That is a main idea which we want to discuss about. So video conferencing is enabled by integrated softwares which ensures that you have a rich quality experience. First is that once you start any video communication technology, the platform gives you and enables you to have a digital eye contact, expressional eye contact, body language feel with the other participants. And that is where you have to be very prominent in doing a video conference. So scheduling of meeting, screen sharing, email chat functionality, and voting and analytics are also a part of it. Very importantly, while you are going for any kind of a video communication or video conferencing technology with your clients, with your colleagues, specifically conducting the board meetings of all the members, yes, you can save a lot of time and travel for any kind of a video conferencing meeting. So your business may have mobile workers and they are scattered throughout different locations. You can bind them through video conferencing from their mobile phones. You can also allow them to check the whereabouts and the activities of the employees. You can also increase the employee productivity. So most of the offices communicate with the distance employees and clients through phone calls, emails, and instant messages. The lack of face-to-face communication can cause misunderstanding with your terms. With video conferencing, employees are more likely to stay alert, focused about what is being discussed. As a result, projects are completed faster and productivity increases. So video conferences enhances the management of training and process of business, a better way to establish relationship with the people whom you are communicating with, effective and faster collaboration. You can quickly establish a video conference. I can immediately call up Chetan bhai and I can say that, sir, let us have a 5 minutes of communication with each other. We want to show you something. And without going to his office, I can still have a 5-7 minutes of immediate quick discussion with him. Online meetings can save time, energy, effort, and money. That is absolutely a very prominent reason of people converting themselves into online meetings. Now, very effectively, I will tell you how you can use a video communication technology to ensure that the board meetings of your clients can be conducted by yourself. So when we talk about larger companies, they will definitely require a larger setup. All the board members will be invited and everybody has to be done in the controlled environment. The entire board meeting has to be done in a controlled environment. So that is where a professional help is most required. Now, I will also tell you about different solutions and scenarios on which platform, on those platforms you can do and conduct your board meetings. And we will start with basic software which is available in the market, which is Zoom. So yes, Zoom is an international brand. It's not an Indian brand. And there are various varieties of licenses available of Zoom, which also includes of free license, which also includes of professional license, and which also includes of enterprise licenses. We would recommend all the company secretaries and dignitaries to utilize professional or enterprise license, which is a paid version license, on which you have a capacity and you can enable the streaming servers to be of the selective regions. Like, you don't want to use any Chinese servers that is absolutely okay. In the enterprise license, you have a capability of utilizing Indian servers. When we talk about Indian servers, so all the data remains in India and none of the data goes outside the country, which is also a very prominent thing. So we will go very easy in a very layman language, step by step, how you can conduct the entire meeting. Very importantly, you have to download the Zoom application in your desktop. Laptops and desktops are the very prominent way of doing any kind of video conferencing. Rather than hosting a video conferencing from a mobile on an iPad is a secondary aspect. I would not recommend it on a priority basis. You should always do it from your laptop so that you can get all the functionalities into your hand. So first of all, through a download link, you have to download the software into your laptop. After downloading the software, then you have to sign in as or sign up where you have to create your account and you have to sign in. Once you are logged in into the Zoom account, then you have to schedule the meeting for your board meeting or the annual general meeting. So scheduling the meeting is very important, where you write down the topic of the meeting, where you state the exact precise time of the meeting so that the invitation also comes up with the date and time and the specific topic. So every individual who has to be a part of this particular meeting gets to know that, okay, this particular meeting is going to be conducted on this day, this time, and the topic and the agenda of the meeting is so and so. So it is very important to put down the topic. It is very important to put down the time. And you also ensure that if you are going to do a specific event, you can use a personal meeting ID. But if you are going to do repetitive events, always use a general automatically generated email meeting ID so that it changes every time and none of the time the ID clashes. So it will never happen that somebody who is not supposed to be in the meeting will join this meeting because they have your personal meeting ID. So you should always use a general meeting ID, and the meeting should always be password protected. So when it will be a password protected meeting, it will ensure that yes, there is one more barrier to enter your meeting. It is rather than a barrier, it is more like a kind of a solution where you are only allowing filtered people to enter your meeting. So password should always be there. So this is how you can schedule your meeting. Once you schedule your meeting, you can send this particular invite of that meeting to all the stakeholders, whether they are board of directors, whether they are certain professionals like company secretaries or chartered accountants or attorneys, or also some of the stakeholders of the company who are prominently involved in the activity of the company. You can send the invitation to them, and once they receive the invitation, they can immediately click on to that particular link and they can join the meeting. It is going to be very easy for them to join the meeting because Zoom provides a very user-friendly interface whereby just clicking a particular button, you can join the meeting. Of course, whether it is Zoom or BlueJeans or any of those technologies, the video conferencing market is so much mature now that they are very user-friendly, they're very easy to use, and even if you are not a technocrat, even if you are not a technology expert, yet you can use these technologies on a very simple way. There is no trouble using such kind of a technologies, and specifically when every day-to-day things, we are utilizing technologies and softwares like WhatsApp, we are using Facebook, we are using many different softwares in our smartphones and our laptop for our office use. Video conferencing is also going to be very simple to use for all the professional dignitaries. Once you enter into the video conference, you should always check the mute and unmute of your mic so that you are quite familiar with the particular buttons through where they are situated and where they are spotted, so that while somebody is talking and you want to mute yourself, it is very easy for you to identify that. Also, you can click onto the stop and start button of the video so that it will be very easy for you while you want to not show your video to somebody. You can always stop the video, and while you again want to be a part of the discussion, you can start your video and you can join in. But most importantly, muting and unmuting is a very, very important aspect. So from the participants list, you can check the attendance of all the participants who have joined in. You can see whomsoever is the host of the event, who is the co-host of the event, who has all the rights to enter the other people in the event. So once you start the meeting, you enable the waiting room of that meeting. So none of the people whom by mistake has got this link will also be directly joining in the meeting area. You have a filter process again, so that those people who are by mistakenly invited for this meeting will be waiting in the waiting area of that particular video conference, and only the authorities of the meeting can allow or disallow those people to enter into meeting. So there is where participants list is also very important, because you will be able to come to know which of the dignitaries, which of the directors of the company, and which people are part of this meeting. So very importantly for company secretaries, while you are conducting an annual general meeting or a board meeting for any particular company, your role is very important, because you are going to be moderating this entire session. The role of the moderator is absolutely very prominent, because while the board of directors are giving any address, while the CEO of the company is giving any address, and at that point of time, if a certain participant is having a discussion internally and physically with somebody, and his audio is coming in the video conference, that will be very much disturbing. Or if they are having some noise from their colleagues or from their family in the background, that will be very much disturbing. So the role of a moderator should be very important, very prominent, where they can mute all the participants from their side while the important dignitaries are giving out their address, while the important dignitaries are giving out their speech. So one must always mute the other participants if they have not muted themselves. So that is where the role of a company secretary while moderating annual board meeting or while moderating the entire session is very important. Yes, you can always take a help of a professional or a colleague where they can always take care of the etiquettes and netiquettes, rather I would say, of the meeting. So coming up to the other part, yes, there is also one more very important functionality and facility where you can chat among the participants of the video conference. So for example, while the the CEO of the company is giving out an address to the entire board members, and you want to prompt something to somebody or even the CEO, you can always put down a chat to that particular board member or to that CEO, and that chat will appear to them. This chat functionality is available either to everyone, so that you can put down a chat message to everyone, or even the private message chat is also possible, where you can privately chat to a certain person. So only that particular person will receive your chat. As we mentioned about the security aspect, these are certain things which one should always maintain by conducting a video conference. As we said that muting and unmuting should be allowed to the participants as well as to the host, so that if the participants have not muted themselves, the host or the co-host can always do that. Renaming of a self computer or a self system is very important. If I am joining in from a device and my device name shows iPad of XYZ, it will not look good. It will not look very professional. So I should always rename myself, and I should put my real name, that is Rushabh Shah, should always be displaying to the screen. So somebody wants to address me, they should not be looking for my name. They should be knowing that yes, I am listening to this particular person, on with a specific name, and if they want to ask me a question, they can always do that with a specific name. So renaming is also very important. As we said that enable the waiting room, as I previously mentioned, is also very important as a security feature, where none of the participants who are not supposed to be a part of the meeting will also enter. And once you are sure that all the stakeholders are inside the meeting now, you can lock the meeting. So once the meeting is locked, none of the additional participants whom you have not invited, even if somebody has given them this link, they will not be able to join it. So that is very important, where you lock the meeting once all the participants are inside the meeting. Very importantly, as we said that in the waiting area, if somebody is waiting, you can always admit them or you can remove them. If the person is relevant, you can admit them into the meeting, or if that person is not relevant, you can always remove them so that none of the unwanted participants will come inside your meeting. Screen sharing or presentation sharing. So you are willing to give out a specific presentation related to your business figures, business growth, business strategies, or anything related to training or the annual general meeting part. There is an option available in all the technologies, that is, you can share your screen and you can give out your PowerPoint presentation. So once you once you click on the share screen button, you have an option to select the particular thing which you want to show it to all the audience, whether it is the PowerPoint presentation, whether you want to show a website, whether you want to show a whiteboard where you want to write something and show it to them, any particular thing which you want to showcase, you can always select it from this option and click onto the share screen, so that will be displayed to all the participants. After you show them the entire PowerPoint presentation, after your presentation is over related to all the figures and facts and everything, then you can click onto the stop share button. So once you click onto the stop share button, you can again be back in the panel discussion with all the dignitaries. This is a very important steps, friends, where usually after giving out a PowerPoint presentation, people tend to forget that I have to do the stop share, and they just get relaxed, and their screen is going on, and the other people are not able to comfortably communicate. So I would rather emphasize 10 seconds more over here, that one should always click onto the stop share button after your presentation is over, so that again all the members are back in the panel discussion. Very importantly, there are a number of technologies and solutions available in the market for any kind of video communication solution. So starting from Say Namaste, you have Zoom, you have Microsoft Teams, you have Google Meet, you have GoToMeeting, you have BlueJeans, on which we are communicating right now, you have Cisco WebEx, you have StreamYard, you have Skype, you have Google Duo. Also, just to address the general audience, if a particular CEO of a company wants to address the general audience, whether it's a public limited company or a private limited company, this general audience can also give out the message coming in from the CEO and can also do the branding of that particular company. There is where you can also use social media live like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter live. This will also create a kind of a giving message to the audience by the company. So you can always suggest your client, being a company secretary, that if you want to address a larger number of audience, you can always use a professional Facebook Live, Instagram Live, Twitter Live, and YouTube Live. So now, first very important thing is that being a company secretary, you should be aware about the difference between a meeting and a webinar, because most of your clients which you will be dealing with will require a meeting and not a webinar, as far as the annual general board meeting is concerned or a general meeting is concerned. because in that particular stanza, you will require both of the parties or multiple parties to communicate with each other, and it is not going to be a one-way address. So in a meeting, you can have a one-to-one interaction with all the stakeholders who are available in the video conference. And in the webinar, it is going to be a one-way address to all the participants, and the participants can have a semi-interaction via only text chat. So the important thing is that whatever we are doing right now to all the ICSI members is a webinar where we are just giving out an address, we are just giving out a brief training, and you are receiving that training through audio and video, and you can only ask questions to us through text. Very importantly, in a meeting, it is the other way around. Yes, in a meeting, the audience number is always limited, whether it is 10, 20 or 50 or maximum 100. So that only those limited number of people can communicate with each other, only that limited number of people can discuss with each other, and they can have a very prominent, fruitful discussion and decision making as well through this kind of a meeting technology. Whereas in webinar, the audience size can be as large as maybe 5,000, 10,000 or even 50,000. But as I previously mentioned, it is always a one-way communication where the address is given to a larger number of audience, and they can only interact through text facility. So if you want to conduct a meeting, a general meeting or a board meeting or an AGM, then specifically for a general meeting and for a board meeting, you should always go for a meeting and not a webinar. But if you want to go for an annual general meeting, you can always have a combination of a meeting as well as a webinar where few of the participants are discussing with each other. That is, for example, 10 board of directors are discussing with each other, with the company secretary, with the attorney, with the chartered accountant. So 15 or 20 people are discussing and having a video conferencing with each other. And this video conferencing is being made live as a webinar to 5,000 or 10,000 shareholders so that they can see whatever discussion is going on between and within the company. So this kind of a hybrid combination can also be utilized by the company secretaries. So you can always guide the company that, sir, we should not only do the meeting for annual general meetings, we should have a combination where we will do an internal meeting, but let our stakeholders, where our shareholders also listen to what we are discussing. So as I previously mentioned, the difference between meeting and webinar. Meeting is a two-way audio-video communication, whereas webinar is only one speaker can, only the speakers can be seen through two-way communication amongst the speakers. But in a meeting, participants can see each other, participants can communicate via audio and video, participants are limited and can cater a limited small number of audience only, like maximum 100 people. And in webinar, the audience receive audio video from the speakers. Participants can communicate via speakers through text only. Participants can communicate among themselves and they can cater a large number of audience. For example, a product launch or a company's CEO, all the shareholders. Now, as far as the security aspect is concerned, it is a very important part. Being a company secretary, it is also your moral responsibility that you guide the company about all the security aspect related to the facts, the figures, and now also the digital platforms. Because keeping the numbers security, keeping the confidentiality into consideration, you will also need to suggest or guide or utilize yourself a technology which should be very much secure. So when we talk about secure platforms, first important thing is never use a open source or a free software for any of such professional meetings. Because in the intellectual property rights of all the free and open source softwares, it is clearly mentioned that whatever information you are streaming, whether it is audio, video or text information, you are utilizing a open source through, or you are streaming through an open source platform, the right of the information, the ownership of the data of the information remains with that company and not with the client. So it is prominently very important that when you are utilizing or when you are conducting a professional meeting, never use of open source or a free software. Always go for a paid license which ensures the security of your data. This is a very important point, friends, where whether it is, I'll give an example, Facebook, Google, and WhatsApp. They are one of the best friends which we have today in our day-to-day life. But very importantly, the right of the data does not remain with us. The right of the data remains with Facebook, Google, and WhatsApp. So we should never have a professional meeting where you are going to give out a confidential data on these platforms or on a free or open source platform. Rather, you can use a licensed version, a paid version, or you can always take a help of a professional agency. So security, when it comes to security, the platform should always have an end-to-end encryption. Whatever video communication you are going to give should have an end-to-end encryption. The meetings should always be password protected. As we said, it adds a layer to the security where password is absolutely very essential. Sometimes somebody might get the link of your event, but they might not have the password. So the unwanted people will not be attending that particular meeting. So password protection is also very important. Very importantly, use private servers or use enterprise servers which are always available in the country, within the country. Yes, you can always use servers which are available in United States, France, Germany, Japan, Hong Kong, China, everywhere throughout the world the servers are available. But one should ensure that while you are conducting a professional meeting specifically related to a very confidential data of a company, one should always use enterprise servers or private servers, which are very much recommended by any professional agency. If private servers is not possible, then opt for national servers that the server is in your own country. So the data remains in your own country. The data does not go. So for example, if you're utilizing an American server, if you're utilizing a Chinese server, then the entire data goes to that particular country's server and that comes to, then it streams to the other parts of the world. So very importantly, your data is, you are definitely giving out your data in hands of somebody else who is rather not your friend. I would not say they are your enemies, but they are still not your friends. So always utilize Indian servers, always utilize servers which are of your own country. Use technology or a vendor which gives the ownership of the data to you. This is a very prominent aspect. If you are conducting the meeting by yourself, you ensure that the entire data of the meeting, the ownership of that data remains with you or your client, and it does not go to the software or the company which is streaming that data. Or utilize a vendor, a specific professional vendor who will ensure, and he will give you a NDA, non-disclosure agreement in writing, that yes, all the data which will be streamed through his or her software or their company's software or solution, the ownership of that data will remain with the client and not with the streaming company. This is very important aspect, friends. So coming up to other part, what kind of technology is not secure? So as we previously said that public platforms which are free, which are open source technologies are not secure for a professional meeting. Public platforms like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube or Twitter, these are public platforms. They don't charge anything from you. They earn out of your data. Their earning is out of your data. So there is where you should avoid using certain platforms when you are talking about a private, confidential, company meeting. Open source platform shall never be used. If you are using a Zoom platform, if you are using a Skype platform, please ensure you use a paid version. You never use a free version, open source version for any confidential meeting. do not use public servers. So a lot of people are really not aware about what is a public server and what is a private server. So they usually go for a public GoDaddy server or public AWS Amazon server. One should never use that, because a lot of one server has been shared with a lot of people, with a lot of clients to save on their cost. One should always go for a private server so that the data remains at that private server only. International servers, avoid using international servers, as I previously said. Yes, if you are going for an open communication, then you can always use international server or an open server. But when you are going for a meeting which is specifically and confidential to the company, never use international servers or never use public servers. Non-password enable meetings. As we previously said that the meeting should never be having a non-password enabled. It should please ensure that the technology which you are using should be encrypted. Now this word sounds to be very technocrat to the company secretaries, that how we will ensure that it is encrypted, how we will ensure that it is secure. But it is always written in the terms and conditions of the software which you are buying, that yes, this software is encrypted through this technology. Yes, we are utilizing Indian server. Yes, we are utilizing private servers. So rather than learning the technology, you just have to read the terms and conditions coming from with that technology, that yes, it's a secure platform and I'm paying for a secure platform, and me or my client will be very much confidential in that particular meeting. Non-transparent vendors or technology should be avoided. If you are utilizing a vendor or a technology which is not transparent for the data security, who is not ready to sign up a NDA, who is not ready to give you the assurance of the security of your data, who is not ready to showcase you that yes, they have Indian servers, they are using a Indian technology or a self-contained technology. Though even if your company is registered in Malaysia, you ensure that you are using Malaysian servers and not the Chinese servers. So only use a vendor who is giving you the assurance and guarantee about utilizing a specific transparent technology. Never use a technology that makes your data public. So as we previously said, never use a technology like a Facebook or YouTube on which your data gets public when you are going for a confidential meeting. So data security is paramount. Use a vendor or a technology that secures your data. This is very important for any company secretary or any particular company, whether it is a private limited company or a public limited company or a limited company, that your data security is very essential. Now we can go quickly to the online business ethics and a couple of slides ahead of the offline code of conduct. When we talk about the etiquettes of online business, or netiquettes, I would rather say, because we are conducting these trainings and these meetings on net, it should rather be used as netiquettes, and this word has been specifically given to us by Chetan Bhai, I would rather say. So Chetan Bhai is a very important person in using this word when it comes about netiquettes, and we have seen that he uses his netiquettes very prominently into that. So first of all, the first important etiquette of any online meeting is sharing of agenda and in well advance of a meeting. So once to all the stakeholders, you should share the agenda of the meeting well in advance, so you yourself can be prepared and all the stakeholders can also be prepared to give out their inputs and to give out their points in for that particular meeting. Second very important thing is be on time. Now friends, when you are saving a lot of time on travel, when you are saving a lot of time on finding out parking for your car, when you are saving a lot of time on going somewhere, you should always make sure that you are on time for any particular online meeting. Rather, I would request to be 2 or 3 minutes early to that meeting, so that it gives a very good impression to whether your clients or whether your associates that yes, the etiquettes of online business meeting are being taken well care of. Removing unnecessary distractions. Very importantly, while you are in a business meeting, you should avoid using an environment which is not very much, distractive. So if you should always have a plain common wall behind you, you should not be having a lot of people moving across while you are into a online meeting, which will distract the participants. It will not give a professional approach to the meeting. So you should always have a plain and simple background. You should always dress up well for the meeting. You make sure once you are in a business meeting, you have a 2-layer professional dress so that it gives a professional approach to the meeting. Your audio video quality should be appropriate. The lighting conditions should be very appropriate so that light comes more towards your face and not comes from your background. So the lighting is also very dispersed in the environment. That should be ensured. And have your study setup ready and checked. So as I said that you should be getting live before 2 or 5 minutes before the meeting so that you are ensuring that your audio, your video, your internet, everything is very much working proper. Your laptop is steady, your camera is steady, your face is looking good, your expressions are coming properly, your internet is stable. So all these parameters are being checked within very few seconds or very few minutes. So you should always be well before time. Setup is very important. Yes. So a very proper setup should be there when we talk about any particular meeting, online meeting. Laptop is always preferable when you conduct or join a meeting or webinar. One should always avoid a mobile phone. One should always avoid any other device rather than laptop, because laptop gives you all the functionalities and features to to make sure that the PowerPoint presentation goes well. You are also able to see all the participants together. Mobile phone has a screen size limitation that you cannot see more than 3 or 4 people at the same point of time. Whereas via laptop, you can always see 25 people in your screen at the same point of time, which gives a very good impact that yes, you are able to see everyone is able to see you clearly, and that gives a good impact and good professional approach. Laptop with Windows 10 or above gives a good result as a hassle-free solution. See, though we understand that not everyone is a technocrat, but yes, we all are intelligent beings and we all are people who want to be updated. So one should always ensure that whichever device you are using, whichever software you are using, they should be up to the date where it comes to upgradation of the technology. If you will be using a Windows XP or a Windows 95 in today's technology, the solution might run, but it might not run that effectively which you are willing to show it to your clients, or the way you want to present yourself, it might not run that effectively. So once software must be upgraded. You must use a i3 6th generation or a higher laptop for any kind of such meetings, which will make your meetings smooth and easy. Because if you'll be using a solution or a laptop which will be a lower configuration laptop, there are chances your video, your audio, or your laptop can get hanged. You don't want to hang your laptop while you are in a very important discussion with your client. So you should ensure that you are using a good quality laptop. Very importantly, internet is backbone of any technology. So one must ensure that whether you are using a Wi-Fi internet connection or any other internet connection, the internet should be seamless. If the internet is not seamless, please change to an alternate internet connection, which is coming to you on a proper seamless basis at that area, that location, or at that time. But internet availability is absolutely essential. Very importantly, here I am giving you an example of a Trojan horse. So our laptop or our system is like Sparta, and antivirus is like a Spartan. We have to make sure that viruses do not enter our system through any kind of a Trojan horse, so that our system is well protected. The data within your system is well protected, because you might have a lot of very confidential information about your clients or your own company in your system. So your system should be well protected through antivirus always. using of microphones and video settings. One must always use the microphone for a better dedicated audio quality and crisp broadcast of your audio rather than using a general audio, because general audio might capture audio from your background as well, but a headphone will give you a better particular solution in that. And for a video quality as well, the transmission of your video and checking that your positioning of the video is also very appropriate. Video settings are also very important. Adequate lighting. As I said, that you should never be sitting in a dark room. You should never be sitting in an area where the lighting is not properly focused on your face, or the lighting is not coming from the background or backside of your head. That will make you look very dull, and it will kill the impact of the video communication. So you ensure that you have a dispersed lighting in your room, or the lighting is coming towards your face, so that will give a good resolution to the audience. Though these are very simple things, but they are very effective things. Right now, as you are able to see, the background is also very important. You should always have a professional or a plain background. Rather, in one image, you are able to see the Honorable Prime Minister, who is using a professional background, and their dignitaries and the ministers also using a professional background. So the impact is absolutely different, rather than a person who is sitting in the office where there is a lot of chaos behind him. One should always avoid this kind of a background for a professional video communication. Muting and unmuting, as we previously discussed, muting and unmuting is very important and should be handled very properly. Otherwise, it may create chaos in your meeting. So if very important, that is being handled by appropriate person as well. Rather, if you are giving this work to a professional agency, you should always ask them to handle the muting and unmuting properly. Or if you are doing it by yourself, you should also have proper knowledge, or you should dedicate one person from your team just to handle the muting and unmuting part. Also, the participant must be very careful in the muting and unmuting aspect. When a very important person is giving an address, but the meeting or webinar is distracted by the noise coming from a fellow participant, and it looks very unprofessional.
Rishabh,
Muting, yes.
Can we have some velocity, please? Because we want to
Sure.
have some questions also.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. Muting and unmuting of the participant is more important. Decorum of the webinar or the meeting should be properly handled. And the do's and the don'ts, I'll just quickly go through this. As muting yourself is once you are not addressing, sit properly with an illuminated light, join through laptop, steady sitting position, join through Wi-Fi with a constant internet, plain and bold background, raise finger while you want to put any particular point to address. So you should always raise your hand like that so that the other person can come to know. Don'ts of a meeting or a webinar. You should never do this during a meeting or a webinar. Talk with others while you are unmute. You should never interrupt. Lighting coming from behind should never be there. Moving background, the background should be steady. Join through a mobile phone. You should never join through a mobile phone, and distractive background should never be there. And specifically for company secretary, you should always have a specific moderator, a dedicated moderator who will ensure that your clients will be taken well care of while you are conducting a specific board meeting or an annual general meeting. So moderator is a very important person to ensure the safety and security and the professional decorum of the event. So this is basically the basic idea about how you can conduct a particular video communication or a meeting very successfully through any of this technology, any of these platforms. For any of the detailed idea, you can always get in touch with me or Chetan Bhai, and we will be more than happy to help you out for any professional help related to advice or anything related to video communication technology. And this is all from my side. Chetan Bhai, over to you. Thank you so much.
Rishabh Bhai, can
Yes.
you explain how we can conduct voting during the board meeting?
Absolutely. Let me also explain you through the screen sharing only how the voting can be done. As per the criteria and the norms of ICSI, the larger companies always have a voting area through the CDSL or NSDL. The voting is always there. But specifically for smaller companies where there are more amount of small companies which are available and they want to do their voting, then there are professional helps available where they can very prominently do their voting. So while you are giving out a meeting, while you are giving out a webinar, there are certain software or agencies available who can always do their polling like this. So for example, if I am one of the, you are able to see my screen and here is where the polling and Q&A is available. If I am one of the stakeholders and after learning the address of a director, if I want to particularly answer a poll that yes, the agenda number 3, item number 3 of the agenda, I want to ascend, then I click onto the ascend and yes, I will be sure that I want to poll on this particular aspect and then I cannot change my poll. So you have to ensure that polling cannot be changed after it has been given. You should always use a software where the polling should not be changed. Once your opinion is given, you have to stick on to that opinion and then you get the results like this where how many percentage of people have selected which particular poll. Very importantly, you will come to know which person has given which poll. So if, for example, I have given a specific poll of specific question, I'll come to know about it with the results of that as well. So this is very important where you take care of the professional poll through online technologies as well. You can do a professional polling.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
Rishabh bhai, how many co-hosts can be created?
So if you go for a professional enterprise license, you can create as many as almost, depending upon the package which you have bought, but you can create at least 3 co-hosts or maximum 5 co-hosts.
Okay. And
Yes.
how we can ensure removal of the unwanted participant if we find during the meeting?
Yes, this is a very important question. If there is a person who is involved in a nuisance activity and if you want to remove them from the meeting, you can always, the host or the co-host have the right to go to the participant list and select the specific participant, and from the more area you can remove the specific participant and that participant will not be joining the meeting again. So you can always remove a specific participant from the meeting. That right is with the host and the co-host.
A question from the participant in context of the self-reliance and making India. Which Indian company platforms can be used for the meetings and webinars?
Right. So there are a lot of companies available in the market whom are very prominently providing their own solution, their own platform. Like Say Namaste is a very good Indian technology. Then there are a lot of platforms and a lot of solutions available. We have Epitome as a very good company who is doing this. We have Swarnim Touch is a good company who is conducting such solutions. These are made in India technologies. These are make in India technologies, which are always, they are developed in India. Their servers are in India and they are very prominent to use, to be used for. And as our Honorable Prime Minister is also vouching, we should always utilize and go for a make in India technology.
Okay. There is a question. There are concerns pertaining to the credibility of the Zoom in such a scenario. Will it be proper to get the meetings done through the said channel?
Well, this is a very important question. Since 18th April 2020, Zoom has come up with a new notification that they have secured their platform. And as I said that if you go for a free Zoom license, yes, it is not secure. It will route through the Chinese server on which your data will be coming through the Chinese server. So it is not secure. If you go for a professional or an enterprise license, you have the capability and you can enable the entire video communication to happen through Indian servers or United States servers or other servers which you want to prefer. So yes, now Zoom has come up with a very effective security aspect into that. It is not at all unsafe to use it. You can safely use Zoom, but you must always use an enterprise or a professional license.
Right. We do have questions regarding the AGM of the bigger companies. We have invited CDSL team members, expecting he will join soon.
Sure, sir.
Utpal bhai, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So friends, though the session is based on totally IT aspect, but still we are concerned being company secretary, how to relate the provision of the law or recent notifications with the practical implementations. We know we have two major players in the market, CDSL and NSDL. We have Mr. Utpal Shah, he is a company secretary himself and representing CDSLs. So I am in touch with him regarding the solutions available for the companies and company secretaries regarding AGMs of the bigger companies having more than 1,000 shareholders. So Utpal bhai, can you briefly explain our members what is your plans, what is products available to you regarding conducting of the ensuing AGMs and other general meetings in this COVID scenario?
Yeah, good morning to all. Basically, the MCA has issued the recent circular in the circular dated 8 April, 13 April and 5th May. If you look at the summary of the circular, it is mentioned that there will be a voting during the AGM. There will be the meeting through the VC, correct? And the system should have a capability to handle at least 1,000 shareholders, and they will be served on first come, first served basis. Those shareholders who log into the VC system, they will be the part of the quorum. And again, while the shareholder goes for the voting on the AGM date, they must have participated in the AGM proceedings. Otherwise, their vote will not be considered. So this is the main things of this MCA provision. Now, what the big companies are going to do? In fact, all the participants are divided in the three parts. The first part will be the speakers or the panelists, or we say the board of directors, normally the dignitaries who will be on the dais, and the persons who conduct the actual AGM. So they are given the links for these panelists. Once they use that link, they will become on the video. Number two will be the links for the shareholders. What we do, we put the links of the shareholders in our AGM, the shareholders login. While then the shareholder has to log into my system with their login credential, we put the link there. They just click the link and they will able to see the AGM proceedings. And there will be a facility of the chat box. From the chat box, they can push the questions, and that will reach to the management. And the third important part will be the attendee. See, the circular has a provision that there should be the management should give the facility of interaction to the shareholders who requested for. So what we have done in our e-voting instructions, we have included that those shareholders who do the interaction with the management, they can request the management say 3 days before or 7 days before of the management will approve the list of such a candidates, such as shareholders, and such a shareholders will be given the link of the attendee. There will be a separate link for the attendee. With that link, the attendee will join the AGM. Once the attendee join in the AGM, the moderator will able to control the attendee. They will be on the muting part. It means they can only view the proceedings, but they cannot speak. Their video will not come. Once the formal discussion of the AGM is over, thereafter the company will give the opportunity to such a shareholder by unmuting. Then once the unmuting is done, that shareholder will come and he will able to talk with the management. And his question will be replied. In case he makes any nuisance, then the moderator will have a power again to muting. So that way, company management can give the opportunity to such a shareholder for the live interaction, as well as they can prevent the nuisance from any such shareholders who have been given the opportunities. And further, since the MCA provision includes that the shareholders those who have to do the voting on the AGM date, they must have participated in the AGM. So we have kept the validation in our system. While the shareholders goes for the voting, my system will ask the shareholder first of all to participate in the AGM proceedings. Once he click the link of the AGM, and then he will able to join in the then he will able to cast the vote. In that scenario, the question of invalid vote will not arise. The system will also create this attendance register for the shareholders who have participated through the login. And even the system will create the report of the remote voting, voting during the AGM as well as the consolidated report. And the last point, our MCA circular says that the shareholder can join the meeting 15 minutes before the scheduled times, but we have decided to keep our login open at least 30 minutes before the scheduled time of the AGM, so that company can manage, so that the shareholders can timely log in and company can also ensure the login, etc., the quorum, etc. And this voting will continue unless and until the scrutinizer finalize the voting. Once scrutinizer finalize the voting, then and then the shareholder cannot vote at the AGM time. That way, we will manage the AGM through the VC. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Very, very nicely explained, Utpal bhai. So we can understand now, we are assured that the player like CDSL and NSDL have already prepared for all these things. So there is no question of worry from professional side. And of course, for the companies, smaller companies, where e-voting is not compulsory, one can always use the platform like BlueJeans or Zoom, video conference platform also, where participants are very less, say 10, 20 or up to 50. So that can be done by the company secretary himself or herself. And I think all the required features are available. Though it may sometimes bring some practical difficulties whenever we find the same. I think we should think from the governance point of view, from the stakeholders point of view. We should try to comply our side, maximum possible compliances, where transparency is maintained, governance is maintained. So no platform provide 100% solutions as per the law, but we should try to interpret in the best possible manner in the interest of our professionals. Okay. So anything else, Rishabh bhai?
So that is all from my side. I believe Utpal bhai has given a very important point as far as company secretaries is concerned. He was absolutely right in those areas, and he has absolute great experience conducting such high level meetings. So I believe his experience can also help a lot of company secretaries to help out how to do and how to take care of online boards in this manner.
Okay, thank you, Rishabh bhai. So friends, this was a humble effort from the ICSI to update the members, to enhance the confidence to use these various platforms regarding board meetings and general meetings. I am sure this session will have a good addition and worthy for your current work profile. So it will be a good value additions for your organizations. So Nikhat, can we have a Shahid Ki Beti certificate display on the screen? Rishabh bhai, ICSI has started initiative regarding Shahid Ki Beti initiative,
Wow.
wherein the fund, instead of giving memento to the faculties, we are transferring some funds to these special accounts. And that fund
Perfect.
is being used to for the education of the martyrs' daughters.
Great, sir. That's a very nice initiative.
We will deliver the physical certificate as and when the circumstances become the normal.
Absolutely, sir. No problem.
Thank you for being with us and enlightening our members. Once again, thanks behalf of the ICSI.
I thank ICSI, and I thank special thanks to Chetan bhai for inviting me to this very honorable session. And I really thank you so much for this opportunity.
I must convey my members. We were searching for the faculty for last 1 month. We were not able to find this specialized faculty for this topic. So Rishabh bhai, who has ventured, because he is a good orator, but he has never delivered such kind of sessions. So after 2-3 marathon discussions with him, he was convinced, and ultimately we got a good sessions from him. Thank you, Rishabh bhai, once again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.